Okay, now, on to 4 dimensions. So I'm going to draw a kind of a same picture here, except the thing that we're talking about here is now 3-dimensional world.
Yeah.
Okay, but I can't really draw a 3-dimensional world on our board, right? I just have to say, hey, this is 3D here.
Yep.
Okay, and then we have 4D thing. What should the 4D thing look like?
Maybe a shadow of a 4D cube. Maybe a hypercube.
A cube, okay. So here's our 4D cube standing above the 3D world.
Yeah.
Okay, and there's some 4-dimensional light source shining down.
Yeah.
Okay, and it casts a shadow. Okay, and that shadow looks like something.
Yeah.
Maybe it looks like a cube here in 3D land. Okay? So you, standing over here, remember he can see inside of you,
Yeah.
right? He can look down and see inside of you from this 4-dimensional, the light from the 4-dimensional world.
Cool.
Okay? And he can see inside of you too. Alright? So you can say, hey, I see your heart. Looks pretty good. I see your brain. Looks pretty good. So, now, but you don't see this guy. He's not even standing in your world. He's just floating above in 4-dimensional land.
You can't even see him.
Right. You don't know, like, well, who is this guy? Where is he?
But you can see his shadow.
You can see his shadow.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, remember what we talked about before, that 3-dimensional light coming into the 2-dimensional world wouldn't really help anybody in the 2-dimensional world see anything, right?
Yeah.
So you have your own light source.
So this wouldn't help us see anything.
Right. That 4-dimensional light really wouldn't help you see, but you have your own light source.
Yeah.
And let's say that's over here. Okay?
Yep.
And it hits his shadow. Remember what happened in the 2D land? When the light...
It would just hit this part of his shadow. It made another shadow.
Yeah, and it would make a shadow over here.
And that shadow could have a shadow if there was a 2D light source.
Yeah, you're right. If there was this 2D plane over here that was coming into, and then the 2D people would see that shadow.
Cool. Yeah.
That's pretty interesting, right?
Yeah.
So I think it's a fun question to think about. Would the shadows have shadows?
Cool.
And in order to think about that, you have to understand where the light sources are.
Yeah.
I think that's the right way to think about it. And the 4-dimensional light source I don't think would help the 3-dimensional people see it all, but the 3-dimensional light sources would help you see, but they would have shadows on the shadows, or they would cause the shadows to have shadows.
I wonder if the 3D light source would help the 4D person see.
Oh, interesting, but see, this light
Doesn't go up into the...
It doesn't go up into the four-dimensional world.
They could see the light.
They could see the light source. They could say, hey, what's that thing doing? But the light wouldn't reflect off of the stuff and up to them. They need the 4-dimensional light to do that.
Cool.
Alright?
That was really fun.
Yeah. Well, now there's going to be one last video because I want to talk about a slightly different way to think about 4-dimensional world or 3-dimensional world.
Alright.
Okay?